Sean James, this is Kentucky, the main truck state. On today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of work on the Nissan, trying to get ready for the show next weekend. It's just not going to work out to get the Mazda ready. I've just not had time with work to get anything really done on it the last few weeks like I wanted to. So we got to take work when we have it, and we've had some customers that need stuff done because they have weddings coming up and stuff like that. So I've just had to kind of push stuff back, but that's okay. I'll be happy to take the Nissan and have a good time. It'll be a lot less worry because I'll be able to drive it to the show instead of chase down a trailer, load it up, and all that good stuff. So a few things I'm wanting to try and do is I found some spray bomb paint that is really close to the factory color on this truck, and I think I'm going to try and paint the tailgate, the roll pan with it, just to get rid of the primer look, make it match a little better. Depending on how that looks, I may spray the doors just to try and make it blend in a little bit better, so it doesn't stand out so bad, and also maybe it'll hold up a little bit better until we're actually ready to paint it for real. So that'll be okay. Another thing I'm wanting to do is try and get this back plexiglass looking a little bit better. But before we get into that, make sure and do like a YouTube thing. Make sure to like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. That way we can help this channel grow. We are getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we were less than 70 subscribers away from 1,000, which is just blowing me away. I'm really proud to have you guys along for this, so thank you very much. But let's get back to today's video. So I went to the local hardware store today and actually had a pretty good experience. As I was parking my truck, an older gentleman walked up and said, "Hey man, that's a really cool truck you got there." He said, "I really like the way you did your door handles." And I said, "Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It looks like you did a really good job." I said, "Man, that means a lot. You know, thank you much. Thank you very much." So it's pretty cool to have people appreciate your stuff, especially people that you don't expect to. So that's always really cool. And it always seems like it's the older guys, you know, in their 50s, 60s, 70s that, you know, had these trucks when they were growing up as work trucks and stuff like that, and then they see, you know, what we do with them to make them our own, and they still appreciate the vehicle. So I'm glad I had that experience with that guy. So I went to the store to get some sandpaper. It's 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, and 2,500 grit sandpaper. That way I can sand this plexiglass and try and buff it back and get it, you know, where you can see through it, because right now it has just a lot of scratches and stuff in it. This truck came from the shell came from up north, and they use an ice scraper on the back. You can see it at certain angles like that. I know it's not going to be perfectly clear, but I would like to make it look a little better. And again, I want to try and sand the tailgate, paint the roll pan. I may have to go buy a little bit more paint to do that. And then again, if it's close enough, we may just spray the doors just to make it look better. Then what we may do is just take and like sand and feather the edges just to make it match as best we can. But again, I love this little truck. This is such a cool little truck. I really do enjoy it. So glad I have it. So let's try to make it look a little better for the show. I've not really done anything cosmetic to the truck in a long time. So let's see what we can't take care of. We'll get you set up here. We'll time-lapse sanding this stuff. I'm probably going to take the scar stick off the back, get rid of it, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's get to it. you can definitely see through it better. You can still see the sand scratches. We definitely need to get a polisher to make it look better, but it's definitely cleaner than what it was. Super smooth, so that's good. I'll get a hold of a couple of guys, see if I can't get a polisher. I probably should have thought about getting sandpaper for the tailgate so I can get it sanded and painted. I think I only have like 220 on there, so I need to get down to about 600 to smooth it out. Again, I'm only using spray bomb paint to paint this stuff for now. I'm not worried about getting it professionally painted at this time, because there's a lot of body work to do. Not really a lot, but just if I want to paint the whole truck, I'll do that later this fall. I'm just trying to make it look better for next weekend. A little bit better for now, so I found that a color is really close. I painted a door out here in the yard whenever I was shaving the tailgate handle, and it was really close, so it'll work. But I need to look inside and see what I have for sandpaper. Again, I think the last one I have is like 320, and it definitely needs to be like at least probably 600 before you start trying to spray paint over, trying to make it look good. So let me check into that. If I have to, I'll run to the store real quick. I'll get some sandpaper. Luckily, it's like straight through the woods right there, 3/4 of a mile to a mile from my house. So very lucky that I don't have to go very far to get it. But I can look in my drawer in the garage, and I'm pretty sure, well, it's all sitting out right here. So there's 220, there's 40, 80, 80. Yeah, that's all stuff for finishing body work. So I'll have to go pick up some lighter grit sandpaper. I'm going to find out what that paint was that I got, and I'm going to go ahead and get a couple cans of it, just so I have it. I did see a video on YouTube where a guy was taking paint cans, spray bomb cans, and puncturing them and using an automotive gun to spray it and get better results out of it that way. I may try that. We'll see. Sound like it may be a little dangerous, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let me go get that sandpaper. I'll be right back. I need to get my headliner fixed. I need to get a hold of Donnie at Complete Upholstery. Haven't fixed my headliner. It looks like crap. But anyway, we are headed to Benton Hardware to pick up some sandpaper. I went to Shop-A-Rama earlier. They don't have any mid-grit sandpaper, 400, 600, stuff like that. So we'll have to drive into Benton. It's about 7 miles, so it's not too far away. It's a better store anyway. They have the same supplier as Shop-A-Rama does, so they all have the exact same stuff. It's just a little bit further away, but it's a lot more organized, a lot more of stuff. So I'll make a quick trip there. While I'm out, I'll pick up some tape as well, so I can tape stuff off. They're calling for storms this afternoon. It's already starting to pick up wind pretty badly. They're talking about possible, like real bad weather, possible tornadoes and stuff like that, which in Kentucky is always something we have to deal with, so not a big deal. But anyhow, I'm kind of excited to get this stuff done. I thought I'd reach out to Aaron, see, but he doesn't mix base coat. He can spray it, like I can spray it at a shop, but he doesn't keep base coat in stock. He's not able to, either have a mixing machine, so I would have to get it somewhere else. The base coat's clear coat it, and that's a little bit what I want to get into right now, so we'll worry about it a little bit later. This will be plenty enough for now. I'll do the tailgate first, see how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out, I can always wipe it off with thinner. I've had to do that before, so it's not a big deal. I mean, it's got to look better than gray primer, but we'll see. I'd also like to paint the Nissan back black, but I don't know if I can do that or not. I'd have to get some fine line tape or something like that to do that. But anyway, let me get to the store. We'll get the stuff picked up, and we'll be right back at it. Well, we made it into Benton. I got some tack rags, some tape, and the sandpaper. They didn't have the paint or well, they didn't have the paint, so I'll have to go back to Shop-A-Rama, which is on the way home. No big deal. I think I'm gonna stop at Sonic and get a slushie. I really don't need a slushie. The lemonade slushes they have there take me all the way back to when I worked at the batting cages as a young kid at Henry's go-kart track. Some of y'all may know who that is if you're local. His old go-kart track, batting cage, miniature golf course, tourist attraction. And I worked there in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And they had a Thelma's lemonade that we used to sell there. And that stuff tastes just like that. So it takes me back to being a young kid, getting paid $2.50 an hour, working like 14-hour days, making like $125 a week in 6th grade. Like, that was the stuff, man. I could go to school. Like, I made more than my parents did some week, which is kind of funny. But anyway, we're on the hunt for the stuff, so we get back to the house and get some stuff done. The good thing about Shop-A-Rama is they do have some like local magazines and newspapers that are free for the taking. So we'll grab a couple of those. We'll have some stuff to tape some stuff off with, so we can get stuff painted. Again, the wind is kind of picking up, so we may just be getting stuff ready for another day. I think what I want to do with the tailgate is get it sanded and probably reprime it. Get another coat on there, help cover up some of the sand scratches. Let it sit for a few hours in the sun, then sand it, and probably try and maybe paint it tomorrow. But we'll try and at least get it ready and let it sit out so it can cure up a little bit. Like I said, I don't expect this to be a professional looking job. I want it to look good, look decent, look better than just gray primer. So, and then like I said, we'll get a hold of Aaron at King's Body Shop later, and we get ready to paint the stuff real. Sand all that stuff off and start over. But oh well, it is what it is. Just got to make it look a little better anyway. That's the plan. All right, we got everything picked up. We are on the way home. Got to watch out for Amazon. We're driving down the road, gonna run us over. Our road's pretty narrow, but anyway. I went to the local hardware store, went to Shop-A-Rama, and this guy is parked right in the middle of the alleyway. Like, I realized he has a trailer, but he could have parked in the side lot. Made it easier for everybody. He basically blocked everybody in. Nobody could get in or out until he got done in the store. Kind of funny. And I think I saw him in the store, and I don't believe he bought anything. He just went in to look around, so that's kind of funny. But anyway, we're pulling it back to the house. What we'll do is we'll pull the tailgate off. I want to fix a handle on the inside too while we're at it. That's something we're going to take care of today. So we will get on that here in just a second. And yeah, we're back home, so let's get to work. All right, we got all of our stuff picked up. So now we can start just sanding this. And like I said, I'm planning on putting another coat of primer on this just to cover a few bare spots where the lift gate rubs it. So we're going to sand this with 400 now and just help get rid of some of the scratches. My daughter's trying to open a thing of chip dip. She couldn't get it. All right, so we've got the tailgate sanded pretty good. I had one little spot there that had a little pinhole. So we're gonna go ahead and reprime that spot. And then again at the top of the tailgate, we're just gonna dust coat that right there because there's just a few little bare spots to metal. So I wanna make sure I can get those kind of covered up. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and sand the doors. Just do the same thing. We'll probably go ahead and primer them as well. Get another good coat of primer on those. Then I need to sand the roll pan, get it cleaned up. And while I'm at it, I need to take and pull this up a little bit and put a couple of bolts right there because it is dropping down. I noticed that when I pulled up. I meant to do that whenever I put it on, but you can see like how the body line is there and how it drops, then it comes back up. So that's just a matter of getting that pulled up where it goes. Getting that cleaned up and sanded. We'll go ahead and take the taillights out, and then we'll go ahead and get this door again sanded and reprimed just to make it look a little better. I don't expect this to be perfect or be a great match, but it'll definitely look better than gray spots on the doors. The Shopperama had the same paint, but the can was different, had the same name and stuff on it, so it's kind of scary with that. But I have 2 cans of the same stuff, which should be more than plenty to paint all this stuff. We'll try to see how it goes, and again, if it doesn't look good, we'll just wipe it off. I've done it before, so I'm not too scared to do it again. But after seeing that Photoshop the other day, AI rendering that Robbie Durbin sent me, this is what the Mazda or Nissan look like, all the same color. Pretty sweet color match bumper, all that. If I have enough paint, maybe we'll have enough time we can do that. We can tape it off and paint it too. Make it look a little better, get rid of that rusty corner on it, and make it look like a little bit better truck. So, all right, I better stop talking. I better get to work. Let's get these doors ready and get everything ready to primer at the same time. We'll pick it up from there. So now we have that sanded. That's pretty much ready to paint. This door is ready to get another coat of primer. This door is ready to get another coat of primer. And then the tailgate over there. So I'll pull the truck over there where the hose is. Makes it a little bit easier on me to get this stuff ready. So I'll go ahead and tape stuff off that needs to be taped off. This shouldn't. I just got to spray that top edge, this little spot here. We'll leave it in the sun, let it cure for a while. And depending on how that goes, if we'll do anything else further to there or not. Also, the weather kind of depends on what it's going to look like. But yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. So I'm really happy with it. And I'm going to think about the Nissan logo, what I could do to make it stand out. So we'll figure it out. What I'll do is get a scratch pad or something to scratch around the letters to make sure I get all that sanding, everything sanded so paint will stick to it. I don't want it flaking off around there. But as far as the handle relocation I was talking about, I may have to wait on that. The piece I have, I don't think I actually have a tailgate handle. So that's gonna make it hard to make it work if I don't have all the parts. So, but if we can do it in the future, it's not a big deal. I can make it work for this weekend. So hopefully we get this done before the weekend. Today is Saturday, so I have 5 days really, to get it ready. We're gonna leave Friday after work, and we're camping. I think Tequila Midkiff and Mark and Midkiff are gonna give me a tent to sleep in. So if you can make it to Mid-South Mayhem, this video will already be out. I'll already be camping when you see it. So hopefully I see some of you guys at the show. I will be posting on Facebook about trying to meet people out there. So hopefully I'll get to meet some of my subscribers and stuff like that. I'd love to see you guys, say hello, talk, whatever you want to do is perfectly fine with me. That's the whole point of going to shows, is to meet people and hang out. So I love the little truck. Let me get the primer shook up, get some stuff kind of taped off. You can see how windy it's getting. Blowing leaves across the driveway. So it's not ideal for sure. But at least if we can get it primered and give it time to dry. I think tomorrow it's supposed to storm. So if we can get it sprayed today and give it a chance to dry tonight, we don't have to worry about it. So, but I believe I got enough primer for everything. Yeah, it's like 3/4 of a can, so it should be more than plenty. Let me, I'm gonna go ahead and spray this off camera because I don't want to get this off on my phone. And once we get that done, we'll go from there, okay? Unfortunately, it's super windy out, so we're gonna be really kind of quick about this. Alright, that'd be good enough over here. The back is pretty well okay, nothing much to do back there. Now this side has a couple little pinholes in it that look like crap, so I may try and bury them a little bit and then just sand them out. I've never noticed those until just now. See that one right there? A couple small ones down here. But again, this is just for temporary, so I'm not gonna let it steal my joy. But overall, it looks pretty straight for a homemade shave job. I actually got the parts from Mob Steel Metalworks, so all right. We will let that dry. I think we're gonna go to Paducah tonight over to Colt Harris's house and hang out, grill some marshmallows, make some s'mores, kind of pre-game for Mid-South Mayhem. So, yeah. Tailgate looks really good. Got it all primered. Got that spot touched up, so it's just a matter of letting it dry. And then we'll see what it looks like. So, again, this isn't meant to be perfect. This is meant just to make it look a little better. So, don't get at me if you're ruining your truck or whatever. Just trying to do something to make it look a little better. It's been like this in primer now for like 3 or 4 years. So I'm just ready to have it look a little bit better. I wish I could afford to get it painted, but that, you know, everybody knows that costs a lot of money to get it done right. And if I was going to do it, I want to do it right. In order to do it right, I had to blow it completely apart. And that would be a pretty big project. So we're gonna put that off. So we'll just do this now, make it look a little better, and we'll be happy with it. So, all right, guys. So I've got the roll pan sprayed, and it looks pretty good. It's off a little bit, but it's not going to be too bad. We'll let that dry. Put another coat on it. That's 2 coats so far. My phone was dead, so I was in there charging. So a little scratch there in the corner could have probably got, but I didn't notice it until after I sprayed it. So, but it'll be okay. We're just trying to make it look a little better. And I went ahead and fixed the spots on the door. A couple of pinholes. Once I get it sanded out, you won't be able to see them. So we gotta let that dry at least overnight, because I still need to put like one more coat of primer on it probably, but I'm about to run out. But we've got the tailgate sprayed and ready to paint. I'm gonna try and move it into the garage and get it out of the wind and try and get a coat of paint on it today too before I go to Paducah here in a little bit. It looks all right. It's definitely better than dark gray primer, so at least it look a little better. But anyway, yep. We'll let this stuff dry for a little bit. I'm definitely got to get a buffer. You can see all the scratches. but I'm not too worried about that. It'll definitely buff out. So I pulled that third brake light out because it does not work. So I pulled it out so we can clean behind there and get it clean. I sanded the inside of the window, so that's why it looks extra scratchy right now. But once we get this lower part done, we'll worry about the upper part. I'll buff it while I'm trying to paint it because it'll get the buffing compound and it'll cause problems with the paint. So yeah, it's getting there. Could be better, could be a lot worse. So I just looked at the weather for this evening. Yeah, we're not painting nothing today. We're gonna put the tailgate back on, get this thing buttoned up, closed up. The roll pan, if it gets wet, I'm not too worried about it. Still got a couple hours before the weather gets here, but if I paint the tailgate, I won't be able to put it back on tonight, and then I won't have the back closed up. We don't want any of that stuff getting wet, so we're basically at a standstill. Probably till Monday or Tuesday, like I said, today's Saturday. Love that truck, dude. And yeah, just kind of depending on what the weather does. There's definitely some storms going in, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this stuff up, get this tape taken off everything. I'll probably go ahead and try to get another coat of paint on the roll pan real quick so it can be drying. Again, if it gets wet, I'm not too worried about it getting wet, so we'll be all right. All right, guys, so I've got the roll pan sprayed. It looks pretty good. It's off a little bit, but it's not going to be too bad. We'll let that dry. Put another coat on it. That's 2 coats so far. My phone was dead, so I was in there charging. So a little scratch there in the corner. Could have probably got, but I didn't notice it until after I sprayed it. So, but it'll be okay. We're just trying to make it look a little better. And I went ahead and fixed the spots on the door. A couple of pinholes. Once I get it sanded out, you won't be able to see them. So we gotta let that dry at least overnight, because I still need to put like one more coat of primer on it probably, but I'm about to run out. But we've got the tailgate sprayed and ready to paint. I'm gonna try and move it into the garage and get it out of the wind and try and get a coat of paint on it today too before I go to Paducah here in a little bit. All right, so I decided to go ahead and get a coat of paint on the tailgate, and it actually looks really good, especially for being spray foam. So that's just the first coat. I did put it on kind of heavy. We'll let that dry for about 20 minutes, and then we'll put a second coat on. And I'm hoping to be able to take and sand it and buff it, make it look a little better. There's not a lot of trash in it yet. This isn't ideal conditions, painting in a dirty garage using spray bomb, but it's definitely look better than it did just being primer. So I did, let's see, where did I put that? I painted this trailer fender a couple days ago, and it actually hardened up really good. So you can see I've kind of sanded it and got it nice and slick, so it'll actually look up really good. And then I can just buff it if I want to make it look really nice, but it's just spray bomb paint. I'm not too worried about being perfect, so yeah, let this dry. We'll get another coat on it. All right, we got the second coat on it, and yeah, there's a little bit of trash in it, but not too bad for spray bomb. Not mad at it. We'll let this sit overnight and take care of it from there. See how she turns out. I still haven't decided what I want to do about the Nissan yet. I'd really like to paint it black, make it look a little better, but it doesn't look bad the way it is, honestly. So I think before it was actually white and reflective, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, pretty slick. It's pretty good. So we'll let that dry again, like I said, several hours. I've got to run over to Jacob's house and pick up his buffer so I can buff the back window on the Nissan, get that kind of taken care of, maybe get it looking a little bit better, and then the back of the truck will look a whole lot better. I'm going to see how well this paint matches on the back before I worry about doing the doors. Like I said, I painted this piece yesterday, and it's not fully covered, so, but you can see it's actually really, really close, and I think it'd be close enough for what I'm doing. I don't know if the camera's showing the difference in it or not. The new one's a little bit lighter. The other one's got a little more gray to it, but It'll definitely be better than that gray. So, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just shut the garage door down so the cat doesn't get in here. Because it'd be my luck that she would jump on the tailgate and walk all over it. I don't want that. It says it should be dry to the touch in about an hour. You can handle it in 24 hours, so we'll go over there and hang out with him for just a minute. Maybe just drive the Nissan over there. Well, no, I got the tailgate off. That'd be kind of goofy. I'll leave it here. Drive my gray truck. Love that truck. We'll pick it up when we get back. All right, so I used the McGuire's wax that I had in the buffing compound, and that thing looks a million times better. So yeah, you can still see the scratches a little bit, but it definitely looks better than what it did. I can spend more time trying to get it, and I will. I'm just mid-process here, so, but it's definitely clearer than what it was. It doesn't have those vertical strikes on there. Grace, what do you think? What do you think, Miss Grace? Oops, she approves, so it's looking better. Something happened with the tailgate. It's got a bunch of, I don't know if the primer reacted with the paint or what's going on. Pop it open and look at it. Trying to keep Grace from jumping on it, but it still looks good. But if you look at it, you can see just a bunch of spots in it. I mean, it looks like crap. So it is drying. I can touch it, so that's good. A little damp up there still, so we'll let it dry. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it's okay. It'll be fine. We'll let it dry. We'll let it cure. We'll sand it. We'll see what it does. May just wipe it off a thinner too. We'll see. Because that looks like crap. I don't know why it did that. There's no reason for it to do that. I don't know if it's reacting to the primer or what. Oh well. I'm not too worried about it. All right, so that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Looks pretty good. You can see through it. Got some buffing swirls in it. No big deal. I'm not too worried about that. We'll get that when we wash it and clean it up a little bit better, but yeah. All right, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and end this week's video right here. It is Wednesday afternoon. I have some stuff to do tonight. I have stuff to do tomorrow, so I won't have a chance to make any more content for this video. I had to get stuff packed and ready. We are leaving right after work on Friday. The show is actually Friday and Saturday. I thought it was Saturday and Sunday. I got the dates misunderstood the dates, but when I get off work Friday, I'm going to drive down to Union City. It's about 45 minutes from here, so it's not a bad drive. I'll take and put a few chairs in the back, pack some clothes and stuff like that. I'll be going down by myself and meeting all the guys from Severed. There's several of them there, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be camping outside, which is something I haven't done in quite a few years, so I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not. I've had a few people say that I can stay at their house, so I may take them up on that. Might just be a little bit easier, but anyway. I want to say thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. I can't be here without you guys. We are about 935 subscribers in right now, so we are only 65 away from hitting 1,000, so that's awesome. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for doing that. So, watch out, Grace. Jeez, Grace, you want to say goodbye to everybody? Yep. Like, share, subscribe. You want to subscribe, honey? You want me to subscribe? She's not going to tell you. But, yeah, we got the tailgate painted. It looks better than it did, so I'm not mad at it at all. I was able to sand all the stuff out of it. You can see it now that we're in the sun. There were a lot of bubbles and stuff in there, but they're all sanded out. For whatever reasons, there's white places in the paint, and I'm not sure what that's from. It's not from where I sanded it. It was like that when I sprayed it, so I don't know if it discolored when I sprayed it or not, but it's dry enough now that I can handle it and touch it and all that good stuff, so no big deal. The roll pan looks good. The whole back of the truck all together looks better, so I'm happy about that. So this weekend I'll shoot a short video for Mid-South Mayhem, and that'll probably be next week's video. But I'm hoping to get back on Mazda next week. I did get the exhaust ordered. It is here, so I can get it built and put on. Just had some stuff going on at work for me to get down there and have a chance to work on it. I'd like to try and get over to next stop so I get on the lift. He's just trying to call and keep it, so once we get it ready to go, I'll work on it. The tentative goal now is mini nats. That's what I'd like to have it pretty well ready to drive, but I'm gonna have it driving before Christmas. That's the goal. Donnie threw out that for me earlier this year, so we're gonna try and get it to that point, get it drivable before Christmas. Once again, thank you guys for being here. I won't be here without you guys, so make sure to do all the good YouTube things. Hit the like switch, comment down below, hit the notification bell for future videos. Make sure to subscribe so we get the Scar Audio SVR D212 away. We're getting really close, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.